The topic for the day is making new friends as adults. As we grow up and mature, it becomes harder and harder to make friends. And the reason for that is simple. We become more selective and we become more rigid in our values, our worldview, and just things that we like and dislike. So, just an example. When you're an elementary kid, maybe you're 10 years old, it's very easy to make friends with everybody because at that stage of your development, you don't know what you want. You're still trying to figure out how you fit in. So it's very easy to tolerate and accept everybody. And that's when it is very easy to make friends. You're probably friends with most of your classmates at this point. As you get into middle school, you start being a bit more selective. Perhaps you're only friends with half the class, or maybe a quarter of the class. Maybe you have some friends from other classes, but some of the people in your class are your friends. As you get to more high school, people start forming groups and cliques. You're only friends with maybe 5, 6 people, and they might not even be anyone from your class. And of course, once you extrapolate that into university and adult, well, then it becomes much harder to make friends. So the question is, how do we actually make friends as adults? Personally, I'm almost 30 years old, and it's definitely becoming harder and harder to make friends. It's very easy to cling on to old friendship and stop making new friends and developing in that way. Well, I think there's probably a formula here, but it's very difficult to execute. First of all, you need to put yourself out more. Of course, you need to get your top of the funnel. If you think of making friends as like a marketing term, you have your top of funnel at the top, and then you have your bottom of the funnel where they become your friends. So you need to expand your top of funnel. So go out to social events, meet as many people as you can. And then once you meet people that are like-minded, this could be activities you guys can do together or topics that you guys can talk about. Then you have to actually make an effort to organize things. This is a huge key point. As adults, everyone is busy. So if you want to make friends, you have to put in the effort. You have to organize events. You have to be the one to reach out. And you don't just reach out and hope for the best. What you do is you find people that you reach out and they reciprocate that energy. So at the very least, when you reach out, they should be responsive and they should come when they're invited. And eventually, maybe you have a mutual. Maybe they invite you. Maybe you invite them, and then that's how you can actually establish a long-going relationship and perhaps a friendship. Anyways, this is just kind of what I've been figuring out as I moved out and I'm trying to make new friends. Not really sure if this is the best way, but certainly going out there and getting your top of your funnel full and making effort to then organizing things seems to be working so far. Yeah, that's really about it.